Hey everybody. So I know it's been a long time. Summer break kind of just took over everything. But luckily, both my kids are back in school now, and I've taken enough naps to kind of catch up with my sleep. So sorry about the length of time that it's been since I've really put anything out. So anyway, welcome back. Woo-hoo. Um, so today we are going to talk about Zahir. He is one of my favorite new rares. I am absolutely loving using him. So we're going to talk about kind of the way that he functions, and then we're going to put artifacts on him. I'm going to show you putting artifacts on him on Samwise, but then I'm going to also show you my build that I have on Lylareem, so that way you can kind of like compare and really see sort of different directions that you could take him. I do prefer the one on Lylareem over the one on Samwise. Granted, the one on Samwise isn't completely leveled yet, but anyway. So pay more attention to the Lylareem build because that one I think is a lot more beneficial with Zahir. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so we are going to talk about Zahir. We're going to go through his special and his passive ability. Then we're going to equip him. Now, this is on Samwise. I'm also going to show you how I built him on Lylareem, as well as showing you how he attacks in action just in a campaign. I haven't used him. I'm really excited to use him in War this upcoming weekend, so we'll see how that goes. I think that he'll be a really fun War hero. Um, so let's start by talking about the special skills. So with this, he performs two attacks. So instead of just the normal one hit, he's going to hit two different times. So and you'll look at his attack percentage, and it is a lot lower than a regular one hit hero. And that's simply because he performs two attacks instead of one. So base level, he deals 162% attack and ignores 20% defense. Now, I love any hero that ignores defense. I think that they're really a solid choice to go with. At the max level of his special ability, he goes up to 200% attack. So that 200% attack for two attacks. And then on his passive, his crit damage is increased by 3% for every 10% health point he has. And then that goes up to 5% at the max level. I find this really interesting because you're going to kind of want to look for adding health to him, which I think is unique. Most hitters are pretty straightforward on their attack being based on attack, which his are, but you're also going to want to have health as well because his crit damage gets increased based on that. So let's go ahead and let's look at equipment. All right, so true story. I recorded this whole video of me putting these artifacts on Zahir, and I have no idea what happened to it. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to talk about the pieces that I put on him and why. Um, Typically, you're going to see me equipping, but I'm not going to unequip and spend 500,000 gold to then re-equip him again. So um, let's talk about my process of thought. So the first thing we're going to look at are these boots. So I went with attack boots instead of speed, but mostly because this pair specifically has 27% health point. So bringing it back to the fact that he has his critical damage is increased with health, I definitely wanted to find pieces that had both attack and health point. Later on, I'm going to kind of focus more a little bit on the crits, but for this particular piece, I was just kind of in love with the fact that it was an attack percent boot and then it had a health percent substat and some critical damage. Excuse me. So that is my thought process with there. And then next up was his chest piece. I went with literally, and this is the only attack percent chest piece that I had for Samwise. The substats are lackluster at best. Um, I will definitely be re-equipping later on after I do some grinding in the rifts. But because this was the only attack percent piece that I had, that was what he got. Um, later I will be looking for one that has either health, a percent health, or to get his crit rate or crit damage up even higher, or maybe even speed, since I didn't go with speed boots. But this was literally all I had to choose from. Same thing with these crit rate gloves. They were the only pair that I had. So not terrible because the crit damage did increase, but um, resistance isn't bad either. And then it does have this attack percent substat. So not terrible, not the best. I will be looking for a better piece for him. But just like I was saying, it was the only crit rate glove that I had, and I focus on getting crit rate higher based on artifacts because it's the only thing that you can't really impact in your cabinet. You can increase your crit damage, your attack, your health, your resistance, your speed, all that stuff. The only thing is crit rate, you have to use your artifacts to get that higher. So, yeah. All right. So, I'm super in love with the shield. It has 15% crit damage, and it does have crit rate, and then it has that health percent, which I'm pretty excited about because I want his critical damage to get as high as I can get it to go. And I'll kind of show you when I show you the attack on Lilarium. It's just like a little clip of him hitting in campaign, just so you can kind of see not even his full potential, just kind of something to look forward to, I guess, even though he's not, like, he's maxed on level wise, but I don't have him dusted or anything like that. So anyway, I really liked this shield a lot. And then with this helmet, it has attack percent, and then resistance and defense both aren't bad to have at all. And then I was looking specifically for crit rate, so I was really excited to see that substat go down. I'm sorry, go up, down. I don't even know. I need more coffee. And then for this weapon, the crit damage and crit rate increased, and then we got a little bit of speed on that as well, which I think was super important again, since I didn't have the speed boots that I put on him. So looking at his total stats, you can see he's not awakened at all, and the cabinet could definitely use some love. But right now you can see the stats as they are. Right now he is at 4-star level 24, and these artifacts are not maxed. So crit rate is at 83%. That's going to increase whenever I upgrade his gloves. Critical damage is at 102%, which is okay. It's not as high as I want, and you'll see on Lilarium that it's definitely higher on him there. But remember, for all the health that he has, as that increases, so will his crit damage. So that is pretty cool. And I really like the fact that it kind of incorporated health without him actually being his damage is based on health point, but you're still getting a little bit more durability out of him than you would on just a normal, attacker, in my opinion. So anyway, I'm gonna show you the Lila build, and then I will show you sort of how he performs without being fully completed, as far as artifacts being at 15, and then I don't have him dusted and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and let's look at that. Alright, so here is the Zahir that I have on Lilarium, and these are stats that I have, and his gear isn't maxed. He's also not awakened yet. And I've only done a little bit of upgrading of his special skills. So you can look at where I have things like his attack, his health, his crit rate, and his crit damage. Once I have his stuff max, it's going to be a lot better than that. But I do want to take him into campaign just to kind of show you how he hits. This is just each individual piece, so you can look at the stats and substats that I used on Lilarium for him on there. It is a little different than what I did with Samwise, but same principle. So let's go and take him out into the campaign, and you can see how he hits. Alright, we're going to take him into Cursed Gate, because that's where I farm. I feel like this is running really slow. Alright, so ignore who I have going in. I'm kind of leveling sort of random people, so I'm just going to plug Zahir in here so you can see how he performs. I'll put it on auto, just so we can see what's going on. I'm probably going to have to un-auto in just so that I can go in and make sure that his special fires. I know, it's very exciting stuff. Sorry about that dog noise you just heard. Yeah, so I'm going to run it with without auto on so that you guys can actually see how he works. So we can get his special to fire. Match up some blue tiles. Get him ready. Alright. So you could see with that, he did 57.34 per hit. So he's hitting pretty hard, and it's only going to get better once I get him maxed out and dusted and all that good stuff. So I'm really, really liking him a lot. I think Zahir is a fun hero to use. I also just like his animation. I know, as silly as that sounds, but I think it's important to enjoy the heroes that you're using, or else you're going to get bored. So anyway, that is my take on Zahir, and I personally would give him like a solid A if I were giving him a grade, though I am not grading him. That was just arbitrary. So anyway, thanks for checking us out today, and I hope you guys learned some stuff about artifacts and about Zahir, and I hope that you all have a fabulous day.